There's nothing I love more than a clean, minimalistic workstation. I can't handle a cluttered desk. My man brain gets way too distracted. And when it comes to the iPad Pro and Apple products, it's really easy to get a nice, clean, streamlined setup. Hey everyone, Tech Dad here, and if you're wanting to use your iPad Pro for real work and productivity, like me, I do this every day, all the time. If you've seen my channel before, I am a project manager and I'm a teacher, and I have lots of great content on how to use the iPad effectively for real work. And if you have a really good setup, it's even more fun to use the iPad as your only computer. So today we're going to discuss my work setup and my desk arrangement and the accessories that I use to make work fun, easy, simple, and more enjoyable. I want to talk about desk accessories. I want to talk about the tech accessories that I use and all the parts and pieces that you'll need to get work done efficiently. All right, let's get into it. All right, so the first thing I actually want to discuss is this felt mat that I just purchased, and it's just been a great addition to my desktop. I got tired of nicking up my desk, and so I just wanted to get something on top of it to protect it a little bit and also have something that serves as a mouse pad, and I like that it protects the back of my second iPad when I'm laying it down and writing notes on it. We'll talk about this more in a second. Now, these felt pads are available on Amazon and they're really cheap. I picked this one up for just under $17, so they're very affordable and they're super convenient. So this is the first accessory that I would check out for your desk. It just gives a nice clean look and it's very protective for your devices and for your desk. Okay, the second accessory I want to discuss is this monitor shelf. So this is very important to my setup, and I actually had a guy suggest this in a comment on my channel. I used to have my monitor sitting on the side and my iPad on the other side, and he said, man, why don't you get that stuff nice and lined up? You'll save your neck from a lot of pain. And he was right. So it's just great to have your monitor right in front of your iPad, but these shelves are very cheap. I got this one on Amazon for I think under $30. There are so many options to choose from if you look on Amazon. You can get wood shelves or metal, whatever your preference, but it's just nice to get something like this, and it creates storage underneath the shelf, so you can put things like your mouse or your AirPods underneath and everything looks nice and tidy. Now, another reason why I like this shelf and lining up my monitor is because you want your iPad front and center. I've seen a lot of guys get little iPad stands and set their iPad off to the side and far away from them. You really don't want that because the iPad is not a MacBook. It's a touch device first, and you want your iPad front and center so that you can interact with it through touch. Because I've noticed that a lot of productivity apps just work better when you can touch the screen. A couple examples are PowerPoint. Sometimes it's just easier to move objects with your finger than with the mouse. Remember, you don't have a mouse pointer like on a MacBook, so sometimes using your finger is just easier. Sometimes you want to be able to use the Apple Pencil as well, and you want that iPad up close. So if you need to write something down real quick, or if you're using apps like Final Cut Pro, the Pencil is great for moving around objects on that app as well. So I really wouldn't recommend that you get a stand for your iPad so you can sit it far away. You're going to want it up close so that you can use the touch functionality. Okay, so next, let's talk about my display. So I like to stay in the Apple ecosystem, and no, Apple is not paying me to say that, but it would be nice. But I love the studio display for using my iPad Pro because Apple does a pretty good job of making everything just work. And the Apple Studio display is also gorgeous. 27 inches is about as big as I want for a monitor. I think if 32 was in my face might be a little much, but that's a preference thing. And the Apple Studio display just has nice built-in speakers. It has a webcam built in, so everything's right there. And it also serves as a port hub, which is very important when using the iPad Pro because you have only that one port. And so the Apple Studio display provides 3 additional ports, which makes it nice for transferring file data. I can plug a thumb drive into it, plug in an external hard drive, and start moving files around. It's very convenient. Now, you can get other hubs based on your need, and I have this one from work. It's a Dell, and it's got some more ports. It's got HDMI and a couple USB-Cs and things like that. It even has Ethernet if that's something that's important to you, so you can get another hub. But again, I like that Apple Studio display because it's clean and minimalistic, and you don't have all these cords running everywhere with an additional hub like this. Now, let's talk about mice. So I do use an Apple mouse for productivity purposes. You can use really any mouse you want, but I like using the Apple mouse because it's capable of using all the swipe gestures. And it's also wireless, which I really like. But like I said, you can use all kinds of mice, and I do have a gaming mouse for when I'm doing my casual gaming. And this is great for that. It works fine. I can plug it into the Apple Studio display and off I go. All right, so another one of my favorite accessories to my setup is a second iPad. So a lot of people pair an iPad with their MacBook. They use it as a sidekick device and they can take notes on it while they're working on their computer. Well, this is great when you're doing your work on your iPad Pro. It's nice to have an iPad next to it if you want to take some handwritten notes or look at a slideshow that somebody just sent you. And so I really like having another iPad as my companion device to my iPad Pro. So for my headphones of choice, I use the Apple AirPods, of course, but you can use lots of different headsets, including if they're wired, you can plug them into your external display like I do. Again, it's just nice to be in the Apple ecosystem because everything connects. Somehow it knows what I'm connecting to, even though I have 2 or 3 Apple devices around at a time. It can usually sort that out with the AirPods. Now, the next thing I would suggest is having some external storage options around. And so you can pick up a USB thumb drive. This one is 256 gigs of storage. It's really nice just to have this convenient and laying around because a lot of folks buy iPads with smaller storages. Or you can connect an external hard drive, which is also really nice. And if you're using a port hub of some kind, it's easy to transfer files from one device to the other. The last thing I'll say that makes the magic happen for my workspace is the Apple Magic Keyboard for iPad Pro. This is an incredibly important purchase because it is such a good quality keyboard. It is backlit, it has all the top row functionality buttons, it has a great trackpad that has the haptic feedback. It is a notch up from the M3 iPad Air keyboard. I love this thing and it's just nice to have a good quality keyboard that feels like a MacBook. Okay, the final thing I'll suggest is if you have the iPad Pro with the nano texture glass, make sure you get the actual wipe cloth that comes with the device. I have this thing handy all the time because my iPad gets smudged up all the time and a normal microfiber cloth won't take the fingerprints and smudges off, which I thought was crazy. So I looked it up on Apple support and they say, yep, you got to use the cloth that comes with the device. And so it was in the paperwork. I didn't know it was in there. So if you missed out on this, maybe you can dig your paperwork out of the trash and find this cloth. But it's amazing for cleaning up the nano texture screen. Have this handy and in your desk drawer. All right, so those are some of my suggestions on how to have a clean, minimalistic workspace when you're using your iPad Pro. It's a really great experience, especially when you set yourself up really nice. And certainly the desk accessories don't really cost that much money. I'm going to be talking a lot more about the iPad Pro and how you can use it effectively in work. If you like this sort of content, please like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.